Imagine being beat by your stepfather because you don't like how you and your siblings are being neglected and you speak up. So he beats you. All the while, your mother, who is hooked on drugs, is in the other room and will not come out even to defend you. Staying up all night scared because either they went out and you're afraid they're going to come home and beat you, or they're in the next room and you're afraid they're just going to come in. Having to fend for yourself, even when it comes to something as proper nutrition, many hungry days and nights, and abusive parents with neglect will take a hold on the child. The child begins to develop a void that needs to be filled. most void, most of the times they fill this void through gangs. One such child ends up shooting a rival gang member. Then the following year, he shoots a childhood friend, ending up in TYC, the Texas Youth of Corrections, at the tender age of 11. You think it would have stopped there, but it only got worse. He came home, started selling drugs, and had no remorse, even selling to his own family members. This landed him in prison again. It still wasn't enough. You see, it wasn't until CPS stepped in when he came home from prison for selling drugs with his kids in the house. They took all of his kids from him. He put a 45 into his mouth and he cried to God. Why? And he felt that there was no other way out. But God had another plan. Hello, my name is David Martinez, and today I will be speaking to you on the effects of being raised in a dysfunctional family and how it can lead to serious consequences like crime, death, and even incarceration. There is an alternative. Second Chance Youth Ministry out of Texas City is tackling this one child at a time. Its founder, you see, was the child that I was talking about in my opening statement. But he has changed his life and given it to God and created a ministry through his walk with God for over the past 10 years. His ministry has grown to 25 to 30 local troubled youth here in the area. I grew up in a dysfunctional, abusive, neglected family. My father used to beat my mother in front of us while they then left my mother with three children to raise by herself when I was only 4. She worked 3 jobs, most of the time 5 to 6 days a week, which left us plenty of time on our hands, and I ran to gangs as well. In an article titled Crime Rate in Galveston, Texas, published by City Data in 2019, it stated the 2018 crime rate in Galveston, Texas was 391, which is 1.4 times greater than the U.S. average. It is higher than 90.9% of all U.S. cities. In 2018, Galveston crime rate rose by 4% compared to 2017. The number of homicides stood at 7 and an increase of 5% compared to 2017. 34% of children today are living with an unmarried parent, up from 9% in 1960 and 19% in 1980. 1 in 8 children today are born to a teen mother. 1 in 3 children today are born to parents that are unmarried. 1 out of every 25 kids in the United States does not even live with either one of their parents. First, I will begin talking about the effects of family violence, abuse, neglect, and hunger, and how this will force a child to look elsewhere for love, support, guidance, and the stability he needs, or even just food. Most of the time, they find it in gangs. Second, I will show what Second Chance Ministry does as an organization to help provide guidance through life lessons they learned while living on the streets, being active gang members, and how the love of God has brought us out of that lifestyle, and how we use our heartaches and pain in a positive manner. Then we will discuss how the organization tackles these social ills. And finally, we will show how a small monetary donation can make a huge impact in the lives of many local troubled youth. Growing up in a broken, abusive home can cause far too many problems for children in these households. Let's understand the causes of this local epidemic. In an article titled What is Child Abuse?, written by nonprofit Text Project, published in 2014, stated, in Texas, more than 3 children die from abuse and neglect on an average week. 182 children are confirmed victims daily, and more than 7 children are maltreated every hour. Houston accounts for 13.8%. Child abuse is the mistreatment of a child that results in the harm or injury. Child abuse. Children being abused are likely to experience more than just one type of abuse: neglect, physical abuse, emotional abuse, and sexual abuse. Living with a single parent or a blended family isn't by itself considered a dysfunctional family. It does increase the chances of dysfunctionality occurring. Any family is at risk of developing a dysfunctional relationship. When there is drug use, threats of violence, and non-commitment from one of the parents to bring up a child in the way that they should, the risk increases with each additional factor. That factor is joining a gang. Kids join gangs for many reasons: acceptance, love, or someone to spend time with or just hang out with. But in the end, it's a grave decision to which they have no understanding of what lies ahead and no clue what gang life is really like. I related to you the effects of growing up in a dysfunctional family and how it can cause a child to run to gangs. Now let me tell you how Second Chance Ministry is tackling this local social ill. Second Chance Youth Ministry provides mentors for troubled youth who teach leadership qualities, life skills, and how to deal with life problems. They meet twice a week to eat, Bible study for an hour, play video games for an hour, or can play basketball, play board games, or just sit and talk. Plus, once a month, they have free day where they can go to water parks, play at different parks, or go play basketball, volleyball, chase, or just do what kids do all the time, all while cooking. They seem to enjoy the cooking the most. Most kids that come to Second Chance are failing in school, have discipline problems, and just don't know how to cope with life. They feel as if no one cares about them. At Second Chance, first, they develop trust with the child by providing a safe environment like a church gym, a public park, always with other youth members present, because without trust, nothing can be done to help, much less discuss. What's bothering him and how they can go about to fix it and move forward. They keep up with all of their kids' grades, and any kids that are failing or in danger of failing, they provide tutoring. They're proud to say that every child that has been brought to them failing or in trouble is no longer failing or even in danger of failing and is no longer in trouble, they are leading the way in producing outstanding changes in children spiritually, academically, socially, but most importantly at home and throughout the community, producing productive young members of society for our future local leaders of tomorrow. According to an article in Voyage Houston written April 3rd, 2019, Robbie was quoted saying, "God has a plan for me. This walk with the Lord has not been easy by any means. I keep my faithfulness. God informed me that everything that I've been through in life, I will show these kids a different way. Teach them the love of Christ and show them what the Lord has done for me. I teach them how they must seek the Lord wholeheartedly. With all the great things that Second Chance is doing in our community, let's discuss how we are in need of donations, how they are in need of donations in order to continue to grow and in hopes of one day having a facility for Second Chance Youth Ministry. With just $60 a month, we are able to feed our entire ministry $25, a healthy meal twice a month, while they fellowship, play games, work on homework, have guests, listen to guest speakers, professional people in our community to discuss everyday life issues, and so they can just meet people just like them from the community, and how they can also help by volunteering their time and talent and contributing to further their success. Having discovered what kind of impact donations have on Second Chance Ministry, let's reiterate what I spoke about today. First, we heard how growing up in broken homes can have grave consequences. Second, we discussed how Second Chance Ministry is helping tackle this local problem. Finally, we explored how we can help. Lastly, I'm asking you today either for a small donation to help feed the 25 to 35, 20 to 30 local youth that were once lost, and to continue to allow them to grow in Christ's love. Any amount of donation is beneficial, whether it's just $1 or $20. You can rest assured that your donation is going to do good for Galveston County. Thank you for your time and your attention.